Hey, good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution episode 1115. Happy Thursday. Thirsty Thursday. Drink that coffee. Good morning. Busy day. We've got the bulk bonanza tonight, 7 p.m. Central. Tonight, live on YouTube, on this YouTube channel. Tonight's going to be a fun sale. It's going to be a little different than last time. I'm going to put a timer on the box. Well, pretty much all of the auctions. We'll put a timer on everything to make it go a little smoother. First couple, we adapted. The first couple boxes last time around, I think I went a little too far. We showed off a little too many cards. But I wanted to do that to give you an understanding of what you're getting in the boxes. So we're going to run it back tonight, 7 p.m. Central, right here on this YouTube channel. I'll be creating a live link a little later this morning. That'll be on YouTube, so you can get prepared for it, 7 p.m. Central. I think my buddy Brian may come over and help me. I think he's traveling, so he's going to get back to me later. So we're going to do a timer. We're going to bump it up a half an hour early. Dan, that's a great question, Dan. Dan says on-screen timer or on your phone. I don't think there's a capability on StreamYard to do a timer outside of the 30-second timer. So it's just basically going to be on my phone, and I know there's kind of a delay, so I'm going to wait maybe, 5 seconds after my timer. I'll fire, but we can do the 30-second timer on screen. That will work. So we'll do say a 5-minute timer, maybe 10-minute. 10-minute might be a little too long. We'll see. We'll adapt. If 5 minutes is too slow, we'll go to 10. If 10 minutes is too long, we'll go back to 5. So there's going to be I'm going to go into some other stuff. So stick around if you're just joining for information on the bulk bonanza. Because I did bring in some boxes to show you here today, this morning, what we're going to sell off tonight. So a little preview for tonight's sale, 7 p.m. Central here on YouTube. We are having some wacky weather. It was 60 degrees yesterday. It's going to be 60 degrees today. It's going to be almost 70 next week. And whatever day, I think next Tuesday, it's going to be 70. And then the next day, Wednesday, and then Thursday is the day after that. The following day is going to be like 12. Like, what? What? So yeah, wacky weather. But fortunately, no winter weather. Which is good because the Madison Card Show is this Saturday. I am sold out again for the second time after expanding. A waiting list has been formed again. 175 dealer tables this Saturday. In fact, my day's kind of well, when isn't it? My day's I can't wait until Sunday, Monday. I'm just going to take some time and hey, maybe that 70-degree day, I'll just hey, no, I'm vegging today. What was that? 175 dealer tables. I putting the map together today. I began putting the map together just so I wouldn't oversell it. Guess what happened? Oversold it. But I've got to create a new map for the third ballroom, and I've got to buy more tables. So because I did promise people I want to have extra tables. I've got the extra space now. Now it's just storing them in my garage. And I'll be up to like 20 tables in my garage, which isn't ideal, but hey, it is what it is. So hopefully my trips today to Fleet Farm and Farm and Fleet. Yes, 2 different stores for you non-farmers out there. Fleet Farm and Farm and Fleet. I got a sneeze coming on. I'll be hitting those stores up today, looking for some tables. So we have filled the third ballroom, the State Street Ballroom. If you're coming to the Sheraton Hotel on John Nolan Drive this Saturday, Be aware there are 3 ballrooms this month. As you walk in, say you're walking in the front lobby, the main entrance up front. Normally, you would either go upstairs or go straight to the right. Now you also have the option of going straight left. So when you're at the lobby, you're looking at the fireplace and the car. Take a left, go past the elevators, and then there's an entrance to the side entrance. Just past the side entrance, there's a little room tucked away in the far left. That is the State Street Ballroom. There will be 40 tables in that room. Of course, the Williamson Ballroom, you just go the opposite way, straight right, back corner. And then, of course, upstairs, the mezzanine and the Capitol Ballroom on the second floor. So this Saturday, 175 tables, free admission, show hours 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Also, the State Street Ballroom, by the way, also is accessible from the outside, from the back of the parking lot. So if you're parking around back, you can go in that side entrance, or we'll get those doors unlocked so you can just walk right in to the outside entrance. So that's this Saturday. Looking forward to that. So today I am mapping and buying tables, getting my car cleaned out so I can fit 20 tables in the back of my SUV. Tonight we've got the sale, 7 p.m. Central. We'll preview that. Yesterday we talked about eBay, and is the future of eBay volume sellers? And poof, they released, like an hour later, maybe not even an hour later, eBay released the winter seller update, which had some interesting things that affect all of us selling on eBay. Transaction fees, whoop, they're going up. But fortunately, if you're a low dollar seller on eBay, they're not going up. If you're under $10, those transaction fees stay the same, which matches up with catering to the seller. So that's a good thing for us low dollar sellers. Anything under $10, there's no increase. The fee remains the same, 30 cents. Over $10, it's going up a dime, 40 cents, which it's understandable. I've heard that there are the processing fees, credit card processing fees are rising. So that's what the transaction fee is. It's processing fees. It's not eBay being greedy. It's just things go up. Madison Card Show, tables went up. You don't get discounts on multiple tables anymore. It's just, and why? Not because I'm greedy, but because the Sheraton Hotel on John Nolan Drive increased my prices. So it is what it is. We have to deal with some of these, and this is a pretty easy pill to swallow, especially if you're selling mainly under $10, if you're making under $10 transactions. For me, that was the biggest news out of the winter seller update. Let's see. There's new Sell It Faster with new active listings. Do they break it down? They don't break it down. Overview. New Sell It Faster recommendations on your active listings tab and easier access to creating a sale event. So you can create sale events from active listings and the eBay app with a basic or higher eBay store. So if you don't have a store, you're out of luck on this one. Let's see. eBay store subscribers can create sale events and add items to existing sale events directly from the Seller Hub active listings tab on desktop. Previously, you could only see create sale events from the marketing tab. This update means you can easily and quickly identify items you want to include in a sale event and take action while you check on your active listings. Typically, when I do these events, they're store wide. So this isn't, but I mean, maybe it does open it up in the future to, okay, this has been sitting in my store a while. I'm going to create a sale event on this particular item. Sell It Faster. All sellers, not just store subscribers, all sellers will see new Sell It Faster recommendations on your Seller Hub active listings tab when we identify specific listings that we think will benefit from certain actions, which I feel like they've been doing this before. eBay says we've already started showing recommendations to send offers to buyers for eligible listings, which I freaking love. Now, when you choose to act on these recommendations, you'll see an updated experience that lets you set up automated offers based on considerations like category, price, and condition. So there you go. I don't know how much me personally I'll use those, but it is something that, hey, maybe I will. If you do drafts, there's an update on keeping your drafts longer. In the past, a draft would be saved for 75 days after its creation, even if you made changes to it. Now, when you make a change, you'll have 75 days from that point onward before it's no longer available. You can save up to 250 drafts through the quick listing tool on ebay.com and the eBay mobile app, and up to 5,000 through the single and bulk business listing tools in the Seller Hub. I don't do drafts, so that doesn't affect me, but I know some of you probably utilize the draft feature. How about this? This is probably important for all of us. Improvements to reduce unpaid items extended to seller-initiated offers. This change to seller-initiated offers will help reduce unpaid item incidents by requiring buyers to pay for the item in order to accept your offer. I like this. If a buyer abandons the checkout page, the item will still be available for other potential buyers. I like that. That's a great change. I think that'll affect us all for the positive. Also, security enhancements added for multi-user account access to assign and share the day-to-day work in messaging and setting up advertising and promotions. So if you have people that work for you and you have you don't want them to access the financials or certain parts, there's different enhancements for that. Obviously, I'm a one-man band, so that doesn't affect me and probably most of us. I don't think we have multi-user account access, at least for most of us. And of course, we talked about it. Updates to the transaction fees starting March 15th. So about a month away, 3 weeks away. The per order fee on orders over $10 will increase from 30 cents to 40 cents across all categories. We understand this change could impact the economics of selling lower priced items. That's why for orders $10 and under, there will be no change, and you'll continue to be charged the current rate of 30 cents. And that goes right into what we talked about yesterday. Is eBay going to be catering to the volume seller, to the mom and pops? And I think most, if not all, of these updates from eBay reflect that they are actually helping the sellers in many or most of these updates. So I was happy to see them. I'm not happy about fees increasing, but I'm happy to see that, hey, they understand the economics of, they're still making 30 cents a transaction on us plus the final value fee. But I think by doing that, they're not, eBay's a business. Like, they can't just cater to the seller and lose money. Like, we all have to make money. So I think they found, a nice balancing point to, okay, we're not going to lose money if we do this. And I'm sure there was a lot of math heads that were, okay, if we increase it 10 cents, maybe the increase from their processor was 4 cents or 5 cents. They're like, okay, we can double up that to this section. This section we can leave put, and we'll and maybe they make, just for the hassle, they make a little extra money. So I'm happy with the updates. Happy with the updates. So those are eBay. That was in your winter seller update that was pushed out yesterday. So check your eBay Seller Hub, and you can read more about it. Boston Smokes in the house. Good morning. Joe Trotto's here. What's happening? David, good morning. Christian's in the house. Johnny Boy Cards is here. We've got Sal Dougie. Good morning. Kyle, good blowout bargain box sale this morning? No, not this morning. Tonight, 7 p.m. No sale this morning. Shane's in the house. Good morning. Brian, what's happening? Steel Cards in the house. Good morning. Bill Simus is here. Double A Cards. Good morning. Dan, what's happening? Top of the morning to the tea timer. Raphael, what's up? We talked about the on-screen timer or on the phone for tonight. Harlan, good morning. Good morning. Philly Joe. Tea timer wants to know, it's bid 80. Yes. So for the standard boxes that we auctioned off last time, those starting prices will be $80. And I think even for the refractor box, it's going to start at $80 and then go from there. I will share a couple of sample boxes that I've got. These are, well, they're not, well, they're actually going to be for sale tonight. And I think I'm just going to do buy it now on these. So we'll see how that goes. Because I don't know. It's just it's a hodgepodge of just random stuff I've accumulated in collection buys and bulk buys. And I'm like, if I put this in a flat rate box, there's some cool stuff. You could probably, you could flip it. But a lot of this stuff, like I just like using Car Dealer Pro. It's fast. This stuff's more bulky, oversized cards, posters. I'll show you in a second. That's going to have a different price, and it'll probably be a buy it now price. Raphael says, cousin Nadia loved the envelope bit streaming gold. There's even if you're not in the Facebook group, check out the Facebook group, Hobby Evolution. Type in Hobby Evolution on Facebook. I think John Keating gave us a poll. How do you pronounce envelope? And he did not. He had envelope. Now, envelope, we've talked about this before. I pronounce envelope. If it's just the single in, it's in. But I pronounce the envelope envelope, envelope. We don't have to get through that again. That's just that we talked about that the other day. Check out the poll. John mentioned yesterday morning there's also a poll on best fast food burger. There was some love for Burger King. Only a couple people joined me on the Burger King case for best fast food burger. A lot of you In-N-Out fans, overrated. In-N-Out burger, overrated as much as Chipotle. Chipotle, overrated. Portillo's, overrated. Starbucks, overrated. Collector's Dream, Orlando is here. Good morning. Max says, could have a moderator in the chat countdown. That's a pretty good if there's anybody that wants to do that. Maybe we'll take a poll tonight. Hey, who wants to be the timekeeper? It's a volunteer gig. Neil, good morning. Weather is crazy everywhere. 70s for us next week too. Yeah. What's up with that? I look because I always check on cards, especially between November and March. The November, December, January, February, March shows, I'm always like biting my fingernails. What's the weather going to be like? Fortunately, this is the third winter of doing the Madison Card Show, and I've avoided snowstorms. At least here in the general area, we've had fog. We had really bad thunderstorms that actually caused a couple dealers to cancel from heavy rain. I did have one show where there was ice in Iowa. And so my Iowa dealers were either really delayed or had to turn around and go back. And I'd rather you turn around and go back than be on icy roads. That's very dangerous. But for the most part, we've held out. Knock on wood. Looks like we're going to be okay for February, but we still got March coming up. And March is coming in like a lamb here. So that means it's going out like a lion. And March 30th is the next Madison Card Show after Saturday. Dan says the timer can be the size of the screen. That would be good. Yeah, if only is there. I don't think there's I think it's only 30 seconds. StreamYard just doesn't. StreamYard doesn't allow bigger streamer or bigger timer or longer timer, I guess. Where are we at? Shane says, do you have a kitchen timer that you can set up on a little stand so it's in camera view? No, but I have a TV behind me. I wonder if I could utilize that somehow. I don't know if I'll have time to figure that out. You know how I am with technology. It's going to take me all day to figure that out. I don't have that time. Thank you, Red Light 34 says hit the like button. And good morning. You need a storage shed for all your table. Getting there, getting close to that point. I thought about doing was having the Sheraton store them for me, but that creates a bigger headache for me because the tables I take in, I just set up on my own, and it's easier to set them up on my own because it's not like they're in a closet and be like, and I can just go access them. They're in like the basement storage area. Which, I don't have access to. So it's not like I can just go in the closet and be like, oh, I need 3 additional tables over here and do it myself. I'd rather do that than, like, hey, I'm missing 3 tables, which I had to do for a long time. We're finally at a point where they know exactly how to set things up, and then I bring in the extra tables because they use all of theirs, and then boom. But who knows? Alex, good morning. Appreciate the help the other day on the 9-card eBay order I had. Hey, you are welcome. Hey, handsome. Thank you, Spam Likely. Looking good yourself. James says, my Bowman guy sent me a 15-pound large flat rate of Bowman Draft and Chrome 23. The postman dropped it at the house down the road. She returned it to the post office. That doesn't sound good. Hey, James, speaking of our Bowman guy, JR will not be set up for the next few months. I guess he's preparing for some trips. So our Bowman guy will not be set up at the Madison Card Show this weekend or until at least May, I think he said. So he won't be around for a while. Brian says, shake my head. Why not just bring it up the street? So frustrating. Yep. T-Timer says, just received a card 2 months after it's shipped. Isn't that a pain? Donald, good morning. Victor's in the house. What's happening? James says, so I got $160 of Bowman floating around. Good morning, Mark. Peter's in the house. What's happening? Zach and Porter are here. Good morning. Troy, what's happening? Harlan says, just remember, a $9.99 offer makes more money than a $10 one does. Yes, 9 cents more. 9 cents more. Brian, good morning. It's just a lope. There you go. Envelope, envelope, lope. Mr. Archer, good morning. Shane says, definitely can't listen as I list. I get so focused on listing everything, gets tuned out. Caught the last bit on eBay updates. I will have to rewatch first few minutes. Or check your eBay Seller Hub and the updates are in there. Sal Dougie says Portillo's got too big. Andy Mack, good morning. John Larson's in the house. I'm rather new at this, less than a year in. Never been to a card show. Is it unusual as a seller to go in and sell 1,000 low-end cards at a card show? Is it unusual as a seller to go in and sell 1,000 low-end cards at a card show? Yes and no. Okay, so here's, I will take roughly 50,000 cards to a card show. And I price them at a dime or a quarter. Sometimes I'll sell a few hundred. Sometimes I'll sell a few thousand. It depends on what you're selling and what price point it's at. If you've got a bunch of first Bowman, if say you've got the table that I was at, sat and James was at on Sunday at the Janesville Card Show, well, that dude sold 50,000 cards to me, but I bet he sold, a couple thousand to James and a few others. So is it unusual? No, but I wouldn't go in with the expectations of selling 1,000. It also depends on the card show. It takes some time to build up. Like, I knew who that guy was, and I think other people did as well. So we, as soon as we saw him, we're like, we got to go to his table. So if you have good stuff at good prices, it takes some time, but once you establish that you have good stuff, new stuff each time, good prices, people will come back and you'll sell more. Which is kind of sales 101. So it's not unusual, but it's not unusual. But it's not going to happen if you take junk and you price it at $1. I've got stuff that, I'll go through the boxes I brought home Saturday, and I could fill a 4-row box, and this stuff wasn't a dime. And if you buy a bunch of cards, you probably got it for a nickel. I'll go through these boxes at some point in the near future, and I'll be like, how did this not sell for a dime? And I'll put them on eBay for like $2.50 or $2, and they'll sell. So it's a crapshoot. You never know. When you go in with expectations, be prepared to not meet those expectations. Always go in with low expectations. But no, it's not unusual. You've got to have the volume. If you have 2,000 cards, you're not going to sell 1,000. If you have 50,000 cards, there's a much better chance at selling 1,000. But if they're quarter cards and you've priced them at $1, you probably won't sell 10. So there's a lot of variables that go into it. So it's not a clear-cut answer. Like, a lot of people say, when did you start seeing growth in your eBay store? And it's like, well, I can't really answer that because my growth started during the pandemic when you could sell a turd for $1. I mean, everything was selling. There wasn't a point where I listed 1,000 and all of a sudden the light switch flipped and people started coming to my store. Obviously, the more volume you have in your store, it's going to eventually that flip will switch, but there's no secret number. If you have 1,088 Fleer Commons in your store, that flip will never get switched. If you have 1,000 First Bowman Chromes of hot prospects, that switch might flip at 100 cards. So it's just there's no easy answer for some of these questions. A lot of it's just learn by doing and experimenting. Max says Duncan is overrated. I like Duncan. I prefer Duncan. So I don't think Duncan is the greatest. It's just convenient and I prefer it over McDonald's. So while I talk about going to Duncan all the time, it's okay. And it's a lot cheaper. Starbucks is coffee. And I agree. So Max says, to be honest, all coffee that you aren't making yourself is overrated, overvalued. I agree with that. I love Dunkin', but I love it for its convenience and price. I can go in and boom, get what I want, get a Boston. If I need a little sugar bomb, I'll get a Boston cream donut, my coffee, my sandwich, and I'm on the road. But it's not like if there's no Dunkin' around, I'm not going to be disappointed. I'll go to McDonald's. I don't like McDonald's coffee as much as Dunkin'. I don't like Starbucks coffee as much as Dunkin', but it's also not like a great coffee. Coffee is coffee, and Max is right. If you're not making it yourself, it's probably just overrated and overpriced. Dan says, I missed a comment. I do not see a missed comment. Let me see. The last comment I see from Dan is on-screen timer on your phone. Where are we at? Let's see. Max says, can have something on your screen, but would recommend a chat countdown. That way the delay is cut down a little bit. That's a good point. I wish there was a way to do that. Just do the 30-second timer when there is 30 seconds left. I think that's probably what we'll end up doing. I'll probably do just keep a timer on my phone. I'll give you updates like, okay, we've got 1 minute, 2 minutes left, 1 minute left. At 30 seconds, the timer fires. And as soon as the timer ends, maybe I'll put dots, no bids after this point or something. I don't know. T-Timer says still waiting on the TV hanging video. The TV's still in the storage area. I have thought about, I actually did consider, because I really need to get on the treadmill. I need to start I think I should probably start with my diet. I should probably just go 2 feet in, 2 legs in, whatever, and just do it all. But yeah, because I do want to go in there, and I was thinking, I'm going to get on the treadmill today. It's I got to go get my iPad, and I'm oh wait, I'll hang the TV. Brian says, buyer messaged me. He got a card a few days ago. Last night, eBay refunded him. Glad eBay cut workforce. Buyer messaged me. He got a card a few days ago. So that's on the buyer. He did not. So your buyer did not. That's not eBay's fault. That would have happened. Even if eBay didn't lay off 1,000 employees, that still would have happened. What happened was your buyer didn't cancel once he received the card, he likely opened a case on eBay that he didn't receive it, and he didn't cancel the case. So if he doesn't cancel the case, and you don't respond or refund or whatever, eBay's going to refund the money. That's just what happens. So you've got to tell the buyer, like, hey, if you get the card, end the case. Flawed Thinker, what's up? Good morning. Brian Bourne's in the house. What's going on? Andy Mack says that flip will never switch. Alex says, I'm new to coffee, so what I make at home is what I know. I don't know if it's good or bad, but it's what I know. That's good. Sometimes that's good. I'm not a coffee snob. Like, this is probably like a local. I think this is from Barriques, which is a local liquor store coffee shop. And it's okay. I prefer, my favorite's Door County, but I don't like experiment with a bunch of different coffees. And usually what I experiment with is whatever is in the grocery store. Like, I don't go to high-end outlets, specialty coffee shops. So I'm not a coffee snob. I love coffee, but I'm not a coffee snob. Dunkin' is garbage, says Brian, except the coffee is solid. Why do you think it's garbage? See, I think it's okay. Like, it's just okay. Like, I don't think Dunkin' is overrated or underrated. I think it is what it is. It fits you in a pinch. The food is okay. The coffee is okay. The donuts are pretty good. I'm not a donut guy, though, so I'm not a donut snob. I'm not really even a donut eater. JB Card Pulls. Any benefit to top-rated seller status if you don't offer 1-day shipping and 30-day returns? I don't think so. Top-rated. So there's top-rated seller, and then there's top-rated seller plus. So the main benefit to top-rated seller plus is the discount on final value fees. But that's when you have to offer 1-day shipping and 30-day returns. I don't think there's any benefit if you don't offer that. There's really no benefit. Max says, I love the strength of Starbucks coffee. The only time I really ever drink it is before a long drive in the morning. Usually don't need a wake me up in the morning. Dan says, a few of my messages are not showing on your end for some reason. Yeah, I'm not sure. And I'm not on YouTube. I'm on StreamYard, so it should be showing all comments. Like, sometimes on YouTube, it says like top comments and all comments. And so when I used to stream on YouTube, sometimes I would have the wrong one flipped, and so I wouldn't see some. But on StreamYard, I should see them all. But I think other people have said, I think a few times we've said that. I don't know what's going on. Charlie, what's going on? Hey, I was trying to watch last night, and I did come at 8:00. I tuned in, and I couldn't see any live. And I think I waited like 15 minutes, and I didn't see anything. So then I went upstairs, and then I saw you were flying solo last night on the Dollar Box channel. So I will go back and watch that today. Brian got racked that 89 Nolan insert from 24. I don't need that one either. Thanks again for setting them aside. I'm truly sorry if that messed up your sales. I mean, it was easy. It was easy to set a couple cards aside. Not easy. Like, I had a couple people request like team sets, and initially it's like, yeah, I can do that. And then once I started sort, it's like, ooh, I can't do this. Let's see. Victor says, how do you distinguish between a 25-cent and a dollar card? Hard to tell sometimes, at least for me. Oh man, there's not an easy answer for this either. I really I mean, I don't even know how to answer this. I really usually I'm trying to what do I put in because I do dollar boxes. It's like, what do I put in my dollar boxes? So I will put in-person autos in a dollar box. Sometimes I'll put on card autos, like from Leaf, I'll put in a dollar box. Sometimes color, but not if it's Peyton Manning, a mosaic blue Peyton Manning, the retail color, I'll put that in a dollar box, but other players will go in a quarter box. So there's not really an easy answer. I guess my quarter box is stuff that I could sell for $2.50 or less on eBay. My dollar box is $2.50 to $5 on eBay. I guess that's probably the simplest way. But again, it's not like there's going to be a lot of instances where that's not the case. That's a tough one to answer. James says, only downfall with card shows the next few weeks. People are going to be tight with the big show in Rosemont coming up. That's sellers. I think sellers will be. Buyers won't be. I think sellers will be. In fact, I had one of my dealers that sets up pretty regularly is not going to do my show this Saturday. And somebody, I was talking to somebody in Janesville the other day, and I'm like, oh, these sellers will be there. And he just told me yesterday that he won't be able to come. And the guy that I was talking to, he's like, oh, I won't go to his table because he charges higher going into the spectacular. So he'll price things higher at smaller shows before Chicago because he knows he'll make more money in Chicago. So I think that's probably what you mean. Some of the dealers that will be in Chicago at the spectacular will be a little tighter. I'm not sure if that will really affect. There's quite a few dealers that set up at the spec. There's probably a dozen, maybe more this month, just because I've got more dealers. For the most part, I don't think for what I buy, and from who I buy from, it's not going to be affected. The spectacular doesn't affect the dealers that I buy from or what I buy. Joey says, I had a buyer open a case on a 23 card order yesterday. I shipped ground advantage and shipping shows insufficient address. Buyer confirmed his address and eBay is valid and accurate. Any advice? So I'm trying to think. So the shipping show, so it's likely going to be returned to you. When was the last update on tracking? So what's probably going to happen is there was an attempted delivery, and for whatever reason, the mailman was like, oh, this is not the right address. It probably went back, and it's going to be returned to you. So basically wait till it gets returned to you. And hopefully it's within the next couple days. Joey says, I haven't received the package back yet. So what's going to happen is it's going to get returned to you. Wait until that happens. Communicate with the buyer. Say, this is what the tracking shows, insufficient address. Well, it sounds like you've already been in communication with him. Say, once I get it back, because maybe there was something inside. If you just say, is this your right address? Yeah, that's my right address. And then all of a sudden you show a picture of how it was shipped out and how his eBay shipped. Oh, wait. Oh, I added a digit. And that happens quite frequently. Well, not frequently, but it happens. So I would wait until the package gets returned to you. And hopefully that's soon before the case deadline. And then snap a picture of the package, send it to your buyer, confirm, try it again, and hopefully it's a different mailman. I don't know. Unicorn Cupcake says liquor store coffee shop. Yeah, it's called Barrique's. And I was when I first moved to Madison, first couple of weeks I didn't have internet or TV in my apartment when I first moved. And so I would go to like a bar or a coffee shop. And so I'm downtown Middleton and I see this coffee shop called Barrique's. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to check this out. And so I ordered a drink, and the barista said, do you want alcohol in this? And I'm like, you can do that? What? So yeah. So they can spike your coffee if you so choose. Shane says, just get a 5-minute sand timer hourglass. Once the sand runs out, bidding is over. Andy Mack is a donut snob, and I do not like Dunkin' Donuts, he says. Mac says, Dan, I'm not seeing much of yours, though, either. Max says, Victor, time in the chair, just have to do it. Charlie says, dime box versus quarter box versus dollar box is a very secretive and complex algorithm, just like eBay. It is. And you'll see in it's I can answer it one way and the next person will be completely different. And you'll see that it shows. I think here's the best, because me telling you, like, there's so many, like, there's millions of cards out there. And so me like saying, well, this card's a quarter, this card's a dollar. There's always the next card is going to be, well, what's this card? I think the best way to do it is just go to a card show, find a bargain box table where there's nobody at, take a look at what cards are in their boxes and what prices they're at. And you'll know this is probably a shitty bargain box table because there's nobody there. Unless they're like a new, but there's also, well, maybe it's the first time dealer. Like the guy that I bought all my stuff from who made a killing on Sunday. The first time I bought from him was, I think, the first time he ever set up, and nobody knew who he was or what he had. And I made out. To see what really sells, go to a table where it's crowded and start looking, peer over your shoulder. What's the guy next to me pulling? What's in the box? Okay, there's really good stuff in here. It's a quarter. And then it also depends on your buy-in price. Like if you paid a quarter per card, you don't want to put them in quarter boxes. So it's a complex algorithm. Thank you, Charlie. Alex says, we have a big show in Nashville coming up in 2 weeks. Joey says, last update on tracking was February 9th. Ooh, that's probably going to be in what really sucks. Well, I guess Ground Advantage does come with insurance, but that's like through the USPS. Sounds like you're probably going to end up having to issue a refund and go through the insurance, eBay or post office insurance through Ground Advantage. I think what's Ground Advantage? $100 in insurance. So that sucks. That really sucks. RS Math, considering where you are headed soon, I'm curious if you have any Sloan in your home. Do I have Sloan? No, we don't. We have Kohler. Everything we have is Kohler. I'm in Wisconsin, so it's Kohler. Everything's Kohler up here. Although I think Sloan is more. Business, and I don't know if that's. Does Sloan cater to like homes? I see it in business. Like if you go to a bar, it's Sloan. If you go to the rest areas, the urinals are Sloan. I noticed that. I think the hotel at Janesville is Sloan. Actually, I think the Sheraton Hotel is Sloan. But I think for like home stuff, it's Kohler. Brian says, Barriques is a nice place. Haven't made an eBay sale since Saturday. I hope it's because I put the time away while I was gone. There you go. Probably. Somebody in the Hobby Evolution Facebook group is doing a test, and they put time away on, and they wanted to see. I love the way they did it. Like, here's how many sales I make on average a day. I just want to test this. They don't do it full time. And I think the first day they had 10 sales. So it's like, well, sometimes when I take promotions off, that just like kills my momentum, and which is why I do it. Like when I go to spring training. Floyd says, do you ship cards using eBay standard envelope? Oh, do I ever? While the concept is good, it is impossible to track. Therefore, I'm thinking of not using the service anymore. Keep using it. If you want to make money, keep using it. I use eBay standard envelope on at least 100 envelopes a day. Over the last week, let's take a look at, in the last 7 days, let's take a look at how many ESEs I've sent, because the last 7 days has been higher. This is not the average, but I'll just tell you how often I use eBay standard envelope. Let's see. Oh, I can't do, let's do custom. Let's see. 2024. So the last 7 days. those are total sales over 1,000, over 1,000 in the last 7 days. So almost 2,000 cards sold. So yeah, that's probably over 1,000. Porter, what's happening? Good morning. Flawed thinker. Sometimes I feel like the PO just likes to mess with people. Multiple times I've ordered something. It gets to my post office, then gets shipped back to the original state's sorting facility, then gets mailed back to my PO box. It can be very frustrating. I think what happens in some of those cases is it just gets put on the wrong truck. So maybe it falls off. Somebody throws it in the bin that's going to the origin, and it gets put on the wrong truck, and it gets scanned, and it's like, why did it go there? Mistakes happen. Unicorn Cupcake says, from what I've seen, bargain boxes and hunters take up a lot of space. I might try it on a small scale, but I am leery. I'm curious why you're leery. I had a dealer that was mainly doing high-end stuff, and he saw the action that bargain boxes get. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to try this. And he's done it a couple months, and he's like, I can't, this is amazing. This is amazing. So, and again, it depends on what you have and what you're priced at. JG says, are quarter boxes a Midwest thing? Don't ever see them much where I am. Well, first off, I'm curious where you're at. I don't really go to card shows outside of the Midwest, so I can't say it's a Midwest only thing, but it's a thing where I'm at, and I'm in the Midwest. I can't speak to other locations. I'm sure others in the chat I know are from various regions. So I'm curious to know, are there quarter boxes where you're at? Quarter boxes are a big thing here. I don't know how many quarter boxes. Maybe that's something I'll take a look at Saturday. How many quarter boxes are in the rooms? But usually there's at least a dozen, I would say. Sometimes there's dime boxes, a lot of dollar boxes. Joe says, just curious, have you always done free shipping on eBay, or did you change? I've done free shipping for a long time. I'm not sure when I changed over. I think when I started doing volume, once I got close to 1,000 listings, I changed everything over as free shipping. Just back in the day, and here's why. It's much easier to set up shipping discounts now than what it was 5 years ago. 5 years ago, it was a real pain in the ass. And it's less of a pain in the ass now, but it's still a pain in the ass. At least for me, that's how I feel. But the more volume I did, the more times I would see buyers buying multiple cards. If you have a couple hundred cards, charge shipping. If you have 50,000 items on eBay, it's probably more beneficial to do free shipping. It's also more beneficial because eBay does boost free shipping items. So there's more visibility for sellers that offer free shipping, listings that offer free shipping. Victor says, for example, a 1996 Fleer base card of a low-tier Hall of Famer, that's a quarter. That's a quarter all day. So like Kirby Puckett base card, quarter. And if it doesn't sell at a few card shows, it's in the dime box. Ken Griffey Jr. goes in my quarter box. Some people put Ken Griffey Jr. in dollar boxes. But I'm looking to, I'm moving so much in and out that I've got a price to sell. So from a small scale, I don't see a problem with putting Ken Griffey Jr. and Bo Jackson in a dollar box, because that stuff gets scarfed up pretty quickly on eBay for $2. So I'm also coming from the point of I'm turning and burning. I'm burning and turning and burning. A lot of this stuff I don't want to sit on, so I'm pricing it to move. Good morning, Porter. Again, so we don't get any of Dan's comments, but we get multiple Porters. What's going on? Shane to Floyd. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but ESE has insurance and you can get a refund if lost from eBay. But if you just stamp it, you may be SOL since there is no tracking. Yes, that is correct. Also, if you're a seller, ignore tracking. The only time I look at tracking is if somebody sends me a message or opens a case and says, hey, I haven't got this yet. You look at the tracking. Well, give it a day. So that's the thing. Don't pay attention. If you're a seller, don't pay attention to tracking for ESE or really for anything. And also, yes, eBay standard envelope, the insurance is much better than, it's much easier, I should say, than post office insurance. It is still a pain in the ass. But once you fill out the stuff, and it takes a few minutes, you fill out the form, and usually within 24 hours, you'll get your money back. John's in the house. I'm setting up in a few months and trying to figure out what type of boxes to put out. Dime, quarter, 50 cent, dollar. Might be too complicated. I like to keep it simplicated. Simplicated. I was reading complicated and saying simple. But I kind of like the word simplicated. I like to keep it simplicated. Typically, I will go either dime and dollar or quarter and dollar. But I don't. Here's why I like to keep it simple. If you do dime, quarter, 50 cent, dollar, how do you differentiate the cards in the boxes? Do you sleeve them all? Do you put stickers on each one? Okay, if there's no sticker, it's a dime. If there's a green sticker, it's a quarter. If there's a red sticker, it's 50 cent. If there's a purple sticker, it's $1. And that just adds a lot of, to me, it feels unnecessary time. What I like to do is, and I've seen this, if it's not sleeved, it's a dime. If it's sleeved, it's a quarter. If it's in a card saver, it's 50 cents. If it's in a top loader, it's $1. Again, a lot more work goes into that. Basically, the only thing I will do either dime and dollar or quarter and dollar. Dollar cards are in top loaders or card savers if they're a little thicker. Quarter boxes and dollar boxes are either sleeved or not sleeved. So it basically, however I get them is how they go in the boxes. I don't take the time to sleeve cards for those boxes. It's just not worth the time. Max says, I don't know, in my 20 plus years of shows, I've ever been to a show with no. Yeah. I mean, I can't remember a time not seeing bargain boxes. Max. Yep. I agree with Max, either 10 cents or 25 cents. Jordan Brown's in the house. Definitely see quarter boxes at shows in California, Nevada, and Arizona. Yeah. I just thought that was like, I thought quarter boxes were a thing everywhere. Let's see. Free shipping is simple, says John. Absolutely. Zach, what's going on? Just drove 5 miles down the road in Rhode Island and passed about 34 Dunkins. I can see this, Dan. Yes. This is the first comment I've been able to see since. So I saw this comment, Dan, and I saw this comment. These are the last two comments. So at 7:36, I saw that comment. A few of my messages are not showing on your end for some reason. And then the most recent comment. Can you see this? Unicorn Cupcake can also see that. Max can also see it. We can all see it. Andy Mac to Victor. Pricing strategy depends on how much you want to move. Price lower if you want to turn inventory. Price higher if you don't want to turn inventory quicker. Absolutely. And I think the best, you'll just test it out. And it's like, if you've never done it, it's like this crossroads almost. Like, how do I price? What do I price? You don't want to give stuff away, but you don't want to overprice stuff and not sell anything. It is tough. But once you get a couple shows under your belt, then it comes natural. It's like riding a bike. Dan, thank you. Sent me a Twitter DM about a good solution for a timer. John Larson says, do you have tracking after each individual sale, or do you do it in bulk every so often? Not quite sure how that works. Is this on eBay sales? For eBay, so I print eBay labels off and it's added to the listing. So it's just it's automated basically. When you print the label, it updates it to eBay, and I don't have to do anything. Let's see. Max says pick 3 SKUs between free and $1. No sleeve, sleeve, and top loader. Shane says I would pick 2, 10 and quarter or quarter and $1. If you have all 4, in my opinion, it doesn't look like you can find any sort of deal looking through boxes. But that's kind of it's kind of psychological too. With the price points, when there's a bunch of different price points, I feel that, Shane. Like if I see dime, quarter, 50 cent, dollar, $3, $5, $10, I feel okay. There's so many price points. There's no deals. Like everything is overpriced. That's just that's just how I think. And but if I see dime and dollar, I'm like, okay, I might be able to get a good deal here. Porter says card shows are barely a thing in SEMO, let alone bargain boxes. Well, without a card show, you can't have a bargain box. Up for Riggin says, any tips for Canadian sellers? I don't have any tips for Canadian sellers. I don't know if there's any Canadians in here. Here's my advice. I'm with Max. Move. Yeah, I unfortunately, I don't. And shipping to Canada for Americans is a pain in the ass. And there's probably a lot of frustration for Canadians. Like, hey, how come Americans, they won't sell me anything? They won't buy anything. Max says, understandable if these 3-day $500 table shows don't have dime boxes, though. Doesn't make sense. Yeah, and that's what you're seeing at the Spectacular, where they've jacked up the prices like 2.5 to 3 times the table price, and you don't see dime boxes anymore. You don't see many quarter boxes anymore. James says all refractors should be penny sleeved. If I get them not penny sleeved, I don't put them in a penny sleeve because the damage is likely already done. Well, shit, Topps has already damaged them in printing them anyway. How many clean Bowman cards do you get out of Bowman Chrome anymore? There's always scratches. So there's low roller scratchers on those Bowman cards. Where's Bitcoin at this morning? You weren't here yesterday. Low roller scratcher takes days off when Bitcoin is in decline. Post-game cards. Excitement is in the air. 3 consecutive weekends of card shows. Rochester, La Crosse, and Eau Claire. Ready for those quarter boxes. Love it. So, hey, tonight, 7 p.m. Central is our Bargain Box Bonanza. 7 p.m. Central right here on YouTube. I will create a new video, a new live video. Oh, see, Bitcoin's down. It's down to 51K. It's dropped $2,000 in the last 2 days. So I wanted to take some time this morning to show off some of the stuff. I kind of gave you a preview of non-sports stuff. So these are just, this is a card. Acetate promo card of The Simpsons. This is a really cool card. That'll be in the non-sport box. These are some tobacco cards that I received in a Cubs purchase. They look like photos. The Lulworth. I don't know what these are. Real Ships and Shipping, series of 50 real photographs. So apparently that is an actual photograph, I guess. And then the Leviathan. So those will be in the non-sport box. I don't know. Ships and Shipping doesn't have a year on it. So that'll be in the non-sport box. I think the highlight of the non-sport box, though, is going to be packs. So last time we didn't do packs. This time we're loading up. There's going to be about 30 unopened packs. Some of these are in pretty rough condition. There's going to be, this is pretty cool. I might keep this for myself. No, I'm going to put it in the box. From 1978, Grease. An unopened pack of Grease cards. Superman 2 unopened pack. What year is that from? 1981. Superman the movie from 1978. How about that? Battlestar Galactica from 1978. These are unopened packs. These will be in the non-sport box. Oh, look at this one. This one, so the wax has separated. 1980. Maybe they pulled the autograph out of this. They pulled the hit. So it's not like a sealed pack anymore. the glue or wax or whatever came off. So I will try to highlight those. That happened. Toxic High School. This is from 1991. Toxic High School. 5 stickers. Space 1999. And this is from 1976. And the gum is still in there. The gum is cracked. The gum is not in pristine condition. So I'm sorry. There are creases in the gum. Actually, it's in like pieces. Dick Tracy. This is one of the first sets I ever built as a kid. Dick Tracy cards from 19. Is this 89 or 90? It doesn't have a year on it. Bill and Ted's Most Atypical Movie Cards. So these are all going to be in the unopened. Oh, this is cool. I also kind of want to keep this for myself. Mork and Mindy from 1978. There's again, these are kind of in rough shape. Where's the right there? There's a little notch. The wax is still sealed on it. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Oh man, that's Shane's jam right there. Second series. I don't know what this wanted posters with 1 stick of bubble gum, and the gum actually feels intact. I have no idea. It's in like I don't know where I got this. I've had this laying around forever. It's like, I'm just going to throw it in this non-sport box. Nasty Tricks. Not sure what year this is from. Probably late 80s, maybe. Or mid 80s. I can't see. Let's see. The Black Hole. I didn't realize I had this one. This is from 1979. Dune from Fleer. Harry and the Hendersons. The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. So all of these packs, this is another one I wanted to keep for myself. It's in pretty rough condition, but hey, it's an unopened pack. Rocky 2, The Royal Family from 1993, Press Pass, and American Gladiators. And I think there's a couple more. I think there's like 30 total. So all of these packs will be in the non-sport box. The bidding will start with everything else, with all the boxes at $80 shipped. I think last time our non-sport box went for like $190. Here's the refractor box, part of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 800 cards. These are all refractors and color. Actually, it's not all refractors. There's some color. First Bowman Chrome refractor of this guy, Yordis Valdez. I don't know who he is. We've got Mojo refractors, Luis Patino, Cade Cavalli, Taylor Trammell. We've got Sepia refractors, Trevor Story, Ian Desmond, Carlos Correa Sepia. There's going to be, trying to find the gold. So here's a top. There's going to be Topps Gold. There's going to be Prism Color. There's pink refractors. Looks like there's more. Oh, so we've got some of these royal blue. There's not too many of these because those are not numbered. They're like a retail parallel. A lot of pink, like orange refractor. Haven Smith, Bowman's Best. That's a refractor. Robert Hassel, he's a top prospect. Robert Hassel. Jose Altuve. Willie Calhoun, rookie. So there's over 1,000. We'll show those off tonight in more detail. Then I've got these flat rate boxes. So this is a large flat rate box. This is going to be, shit, what was the price on it? I thought I had a price. I think this is a $75 box. This will be buy it now. So there's some of these old posters, Topps posters, vintage football Topps posters. Oh, there's one on the back, Gary Quazzo. Vikings quarterback from whatever year that is, 1970. There's Star Wars magnets. This is all stuff that have come in like collections and bulk buys. Bob Baylor, Tasty Freeze, disc. This looks like an IndyCar or something. Big pin. I don't know who that is. Scott or Bart. Pro set unopened pack. Winston Cup racing cards. Here's a promo pack with the world's tallest man. Here's a Kentucky Derby pin, the 100th running of the Kentucky Derby. TV guide with Brett Favre on the cover. Again, this is just, it's random. Giant Donruss card of Cecil Cooper. Classic board game from 1990. There's Nolan Ryan, Greg Jeffries. Got the dice and everything in there. I think this is the complete set of the Babe Ruth collection from Conlon, 1990 or 91. With the tin. The tin does have a bend in it. These are from Pacific. I think these are from the National. Yes, they are. From the 1996 National, these are passes. So this is a media pass with Antonio Freeman. And this is Robert Brooks. This is a dealer pass for the 1996 National. Robert Brooks Pacific card. Here's a John Kruk autograph. A random one touch. Oh, an unopened one touch. Here's a Jeff Bagwell. These are like the film strips. Is this from Pinnacle? No, top screenplays. Jeff Bagwell. This is the card. Oh, that's kind of cool. Okay, a few more things. There's a couple giant Ken Griffey Juniors. These have some corner dings. Ken Griffey Jr. Nolan Ryan, superstar, and a screw down. There's a giant upper deck Troy Aikman card. Here's the Red Foley's best baseball book ever. This does have the stickers in it. Stickers included. This might be like a $20 pack. 2020 score value pack. This is unopened. 1998 Topps metal. 3 cards in there. Here's a TCMA unopened Cy Young Award winners from 1985. Here's a bunch. This is a whole stack of, I think, rub-on tattoos. Here's an old Topps coin of Ron Hunt. Kevin Seitzer play ball, whatever the hell that is, some plaque. And then a couple more giant Donruss cards. So that's in the large flat rate box. That'll be $75. Buy it now tonight, 7 p.m. Central for our sale. And then, of course, we'll do auctions for the refractor box, the non-sport box. We'll have baseball. We'll have modern baseball. Trying to get a football box put together. I have more of the autographs that we did the last time. So there's actually 3 of those random goodie boxes. Okay, so that's kind of a preview of what we're going to be selling tonight. 7 p.m. Central here on this YouTube channel. Where are we at? Let's go back up here. Jordan says, I agree. If they have multiple choices on prices, they aren't looking to deal. My biggest frustration is when dealers won't bulk deal dollar cards and 50-cent cards. I agree. You are welcome, Victor. Brian says those boat cards are kind of neat. Is it Ogden's? It could be. I don't think it said so on the back. WD and H.O. Wills, Bristol and London. So they might be British. Let's see. Johnny M says, good morning. The problem with unopened packs is you don't know if they've been resealed. Well, I can guarantee the autographs haven't been pulled. The hits weren't taken out. So yeah, so the unopened packs, maybe they've been resealed because they are, some of them have come open, but buyer beware. Has anyone ever slabbed a stick of gum from a pack? Probably not, because I don't think grading companies will do that. I'm sure somebody has slabbed, from their own. I don't know. I'm sure somebody's done it. I've put, so I actually have a one touch where I put in a one touch, I think it's a Howard the Duck, where the stick of gum is still perfect and it's stuck to the card. And I put it in a one touch because I thought it looked cool. Shane says, I'm pretty sure I have some of those turtle packs still sealed. Yeah. Pink Josh Bell. There you go. There's no doubt in my mind that Willie Calhoun can bang. Aaron Boone. Brian's excited for the magnets. That coupe is dope. This is a hoarder's dream. Yeah. Shane says they were supposed to kill him in the first episode of that show. So glad they decided against it. How many items are in the random box? I don't know, 30, 25. Let's see. John Kruk, best moment facing Randy Johnson in the All-Star game. Does anyone know how much PSA charges to grade box toppers? I have one that I might want to get graded depending on the price. I have no clue. No clue. Low Roller says Jasmine coin is the hottest coin of the week in crypto. So that's what I had for today. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. Don't forget, in less than 12 hours and 11 hours, 10 hours and 40 minutes, we'll be live again for our bulk bonanza, our bargain box sale. Some of the stuff that I just shared will be up for sale. Bargain boxes and all that stuff. 7 p.m. Central here on YouTube. See you then. Like, subscribe, visit my eBay store. Don't forget about the Madison Card Show this Saturday, Sheraton Hotel on John Nolan Drive, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Free admission, and there's 3 rooms. Our newest room is the State Street Ballroom. There is direct access from the back of the parking lot to the State Street Ballroom. 40 tables in that room. 40 tables in the Williamson Ballroom, which is on the first floor. On the other side, if you're coming in from the lobby, go straight back into the left to visit the State Street Ballroom, straight back into the right for the Williamson Ballroom, elevators or stairs to the second floor for the Capitol Ballroom and the mezzanine. 175 tables total, 9 to 3 this Saturday, Sheraton Hotel, John Nolan Drive. That's going to do it for today. Thanks for tuning in. Tomorrow's Friday already. I wish there was another day this week, but there's not. Tomorrow is Friday. It's a free-for-all. We'll see you then.